The period of time that this battle went on, again, this was December of 44, going into January of 45, was one of the coldest winters, and as you said, 30 inches of snow, one of the worst winters. And here you are. What did you have to keep warm? I mean, the conditions were so brutal. How did you survive just the elements, much less the fighting?
Well, we called them dog biscuits. The little wafer that they made generally kept you warm.
I'm sorry, the dog biscuits, was this something you ate? Or what?
Yes, they were what we call the crackers that was in the K rations. Mm-hmm. And in every one of the K rations, you always got a bunch of those. And they kept you fairly warm. They provided us with a set of boots, which the bottom half of the boot, like the slipper part, was out of rubber, insulated. The upper part was like a regular combat boot. And those, if you had been smart enough to get extra socks, I had 2 extra pair inside my shirt, and so when my feet, either from sweat or from my
snow in them,
got in there, and I had my feet got wet, why a lot of guys got frostbite. But I always, at night when things got slow and we were getting ammunition to start the next day, I took my socks off and put the wet ones inside. I put the dry ones back on. And I always said, well, I think that helped me from getting frostbite. But after we had moved and we were pretty much out of ammunition, they gave us what we call a poncho that just fit over your head, and it was like a big apron around, and they were very waterproof. You could lay down in the snow and you wouldn't get wet. So two guys would get together and dig back in the snowbank and stay there until somebody came to you and said, well, we're ready to go. And that's how we slept through the snow part.
And I guess between the stress of fighting and all the physical exertion through that snow, I just imagine you were exhausted enough that you could probably have slept almost anywhere. Huh?
Well, yes, you could lay down anywhere, and some of them did. They did not, double up, as we call it. And if you get in the snowbank, you don't have the cold. And it was about, I'd say, 5 below at one part, and the wind was something terrific. It was tough on us, and it was tough on the Germans.
And you couldn't, because the Germans were near, you couldn't have fires at night.
No. You just kept warm the best way you can.
Beyond the Battle of the Bulge, you continued fighting and pushed the Germans were pushed back, and you continued on. Were you at the Remagen Bridge?
Yes.
And that was.
We were.
I'm sure you've watched the movie, by the way, The Bridge at Remagen.
Oh yeah. And
what do you think?
My book that has pictures of it. We were in support. I think the 12th Armored captured it, and the 9th Armored Division went across and got nearly all of their tanks and half-tracks across, and we were in support basically to keep anybody from sabotaging the bridge.
Why was that bridge important?
Well, it was the bridge across the Rhine, and it was a strategic bridge, and the Germans thought enough of it that they used their new jets to try to bomb it. Unfortunately, they took the German pilots out of a propeller plane, which is about 150 miles an hour slower, put them in these jets, and when the plane released its bomb, the plane and the bomb went on down, and here's the bridge over here.
They overshot.
Well, they had not taken the fins in the back, so that when they dropped it, it went down. It just followed because it was going so fast with the jet. It just followed the jet right along and landed about 3/4 of a mile downstream. So.
Now this was March. By the time you got to the bridge of Remagen, that was March of 1945.
A little before that.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. We went across.
How intense was the fighting that not only you, but I mean just your unit and division went through?
Well, you're constantly, in a firefight. The Germans had launched some of their soldiers on little boats, and they were climbing the Remagen Bridge to try to attach dynamite. Well, we were all lined up along the shoreline, and we were shooting at them. So, and of course, they were shooting back at us. So, just about every day, there's some part of the day is basic combat. You're shooting at them, and they're shooting at you.
Later on, there's these roadblocks that would be put up across the roads, and this was at the end of March, and you were approaching one of these, I guess, very early in the morning where the sun was just about to come up. Tell us what happened there.
Well, in the Battle of the Bulge, we lost all of our Sherman tanks, which had 75s, plus we lost all of our P-51s because of the snow and the fog.
P-51s are planes.
Yeah. And so we got P-47 Thunderbolts replaced, and we got tank destroyers, 90-millimeter tank destroyers. And we were headed toward Kassel, and I was on the lead tank destroyer. And we came upon this roadblock, and it was about 2.5 blocks ahead of us. And so I was told I'd go up and crawl down the little
ditch alongside
ditch on the side of the road, and use my bayonet to see if there's any tank mines.